Hello fellow blenders, this is Peter here with PM Designs. In this video I'm going to show you this very easy way to make any kind of rug or welcome mat with any kind of pattern you like. And if you stick around to the end, I'll show you how to fix a problem that you may encounter. So I've got my blender file ready to go, and all you have to do is make sure, if you're a beginner, you need to make sure that you've got the add-on enabled, which is called Images as Planes, which is here. Just make sure you enable that. And so then we can add any image as a plane, which we can treat as a mesh. So now I'm going to add an object which is going to be an image as plane. So because this is a mesh, it's not going to display the image until you switch to Material Preview, like that. So now we can see the shader as it is. So I'm going to show you one problem with this one, and later I'll show you another problem with a different image. So I've downloaded this image as a PNG, but it's not a very neat PNG, and also it's got these tassels on the side which I don't want. So I'm going to have to do some editing first. So if I tab into edit mode, I want to just add an edge loop here, and a nice edge loop along the top and along the bottom. So I'm going to just add the two vertical edge loops first, Control and R, and then roll my mouse wheel up to get two. Click the left mouse button to drop those in place, and then just press Escape to leave them where they are. Now if I enable X symmetry, go to Edge Select by pressing 2, select this edge and double tap G just to slide that along to cut off the tassels about there. They're not quite perfectly symmetrical, so actually I can disable symmetry, bring this one back a little bit. Now I'm just going to do the same thing horizontally after I trim this one. So just Control and R, roll my mouse wheel up to get two, click it in place, press Escape, and then I can do Y symmetry, grab this edge and double tap G to slide that one up until I get a decent straight line there. Great. Okay, so now if I had to go to face select and select this middle and then press Control and I select all the other faces and press X, F to delete those. So now I've got a fairly nice rug pattern to work with. Now comes the easy part, but first I just want to check the dimensions of this, because it's 1.6 meters that way. I guess this kind of rug would usually be substantially bigger, so I'm going to go, let's stick it to about 2.5 meters on the X, something like that. Apply those transforms. What we're going to do for this, very easy, is add a hair particle system. So I'm just going to click plus there, change that to hair, and it goes crazy. So now I just need to choose my hair length to be something like 0.02 meters. So that's 2 centimeters. Something like that is probably about right. I'm not going to mess with the amount of hairs at the moment or anything like that. I just want to get the shape looking right. And also, we'll only be able to view this in the cycles in the render preview. So I need to just add in some lights quickly. So I've got some lights in place, a little bit low. Move those up there a bit. And also I want to switch this to cycles so I can start to see my hairs, strands, whatever they are. As you can see, they're pretty pointy. They're quite wide at the bottom. So let's go and fix that. We'll go down back to our rug or welcome mat, whatever you're working with. Come down to your hair shape, and I'm pretty sure this kind of thing, carpet or whatever, the root is about the same size as the tip. So I'm just going to set this to 0.1 on the root and 0.1 on the tip. And then if I just come a little bit closer, then I can start to mess with the diameter scale, and that's just going to adjust both of those. These are about the same, but if I start to bring this up, you see they start to get thicker. And yeah, they are a little bit pointy, but don't worry too much about that, it's not a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to get those, I think 0.04 should be about right. So now let's add some children, interpolated children, and I'm going to put the display amount in the viewport up to 100 as well, because that's what's going to be rendered. And it's getting there. I just need to add a few more. Let's increase the number here to 2,000. Okay, let's go 3,000. And once you get a number here, which you're happy with, you can basically change the children to sort of take that place. So I'm going to take this up to 5,000. Okay, so that's looking much better, yeah, from a distance. You know, unless you're doing something like A Bug's Life. Speaking of which, that was a mosquito. If you're doing something like A Bug's Life, you're going to get right close, but don't worry too much about that. Let's just zoom right out here. That's it. Basically, from a distance, that looks about right. Maybe the diameter is a little bit big. Again, we could just come down here to the hair shape, bring that down to 0.03, which means we're going to have to add in some more children. So let's go for 200 children per strand. So now we've got 5,000 times 200, whatever that is. That's like a million or something. I'm really bad at math. And yeah, so there you go. You got it. That's the basic, easy way to quickly make a rug or a welcome mat or anything like that. Before you go, I'm going to show you how to fix a couple of problems that you might come across. Okay, so I've chosen this one because this one has an amount of quite a lot of alpha around the side, quite a lot of transparency area, quite a lot of transparent areas around the side. So there are two things you could do here. You could go around and cut, get in there and get with the knife tool. Where's it gone? Knife tool, and start to cut around that and cut away that transparent area. But I kind of like the shape of this, so I want to keep it like that. So I'm gonna force another problem to happen. Okay, so for now I'm just using the same particle settings which I made for the rug, and as you can see, the areas which are transparent are coming out black, and that's because there are lots of hairs or strands there. Each of them is transparent, but in Blender, as you build up layers of transparency, it starts to get black. So the easy way to fix that is you just come into your render properties, come down to light paths, and down here to where it says max bounces, and increase your transparent bounces. And as you increase that, it will allow the layers of transparency to exist together. So if I just bring, it's going to be quite high because that's a lot of hair strands. Okay, so there you go, fixed. So now there are no more black quote-unquote transparent objects. So that's it. That's the very easy setup for making like a rug or whatever, and you can just play around with whatever number you want until you get it right and change the diameter. I think on a welcome mat the diameter is probably a bit lower on those strands, be a little bit thinner, but yeah, in cycles this looks great. So if you found that useful, please drop a like. If you didn't, please let me know why. Thanks very much.